I am reading Paul Nation's work on language acquisition, and I found something really surprising that I didn't expect to see it there. He talks about speed reading, and it's the first time I see, or rather, hear or read anyone in the language learning sphere talk about speed reading. This is a topic that all the productivity people and study faster and study better, blah blah blah. Those people talk a lot about this kind of thing. Um, I do recommend speed reading for language learning, and I've got video tutorials on how to do it. I think I uploaded one recently as well. But it's the first time that I see someone, an actual academic in language learning. Paul Nation's a well-regarded, prestigious academic when it comes to language learning. Talk about speed reading, and what I found out, I haven't read the whole thing yet, but my impression is that he uses or he recommends speed reading for similar reasons as I do, but also for different ones that I hadn't seen before. So among the benefits that he uh, associates with speed reading, apart from, if you read faster, you can review more content. You can, if you read more, you learn more words. You review more text, and you review more grammar and vocab. That's very obvious, right? But apart from that, according to him, the faster you're able to read in the language, the faster you can process the language. So you get better not only at uh, reading comprehension, but also at listening comprehension, which kind of makes sense if you know pronunciation, and also at producing the language, your own fluency, because the faster you can process the language, you can read and understand. I'm not talking about reading and not understanding anything. If you just move your eyes throughout the text and you don't really remember anything that you or understand anything that you read, obviously that's not helping at all. But the faster you can read and understand something, the faster you will be able to reproduce it as well, right? So it makes sense. So he really recommends speed reading. Now, he recommends doing it um, for with texts that are relatively easy or very easy, texts you've read before, texts that have almost 100% known vocabulary, or vocabulary that maybe you don't know 100%, but you've read before and you remember most of it. I shouldn't do this with new text, especially if you are not familiar with a lot of the vocab there. But yeah, that's what he recommends. You just do a lot of speed reading. You time yourself and you try to read faster. Maybe read the same article as you read yesterday, but you try to read it faster. And the more you do it, the faster you get at reading. The faster you get at reading, the more you can read, and so the more reviews you get, so you're more likely to actually remember the vocab. On average, it depends on the person, but on average, we need 12 reviews per word to remember the words. And unless you read massive amounts of content, uh, there are a lot of words that you will not see often enough, so you will not remember them because you will not see them enough times. So if you can read faster, you can read more, so you can review that vocab more often. But also, this is an excellent way to learn the key words and sentences that you want to learn by reading them again and again and faster each time. So you can process the information faster. So then, when you actually want to use those words and sentences in real life, you're able to recall them much faster. Again, this is no substitute for active recall. You should also do that, obviously, and it's no substitute for speaking exercises. You should also speak, but I can see that I can see how speed reading will should help you speak more fluently, much more than just being exposed to random videos or reading pleasure reading. Pleasure reading helps you learn you reinforce what you've already learned. You slowly learn some extra vocab. I do a lot of pleasure reading in all the languages and most of the languages that I speak. But when it comes to seriously learning vocabulary and sentences, it's better to learn. It's better to read the same sentences over and over and fast than just reading whatever you feel like reading. Articles online or books. All of that is good, but it should be a secondary thing. So this is my advice. Um, I was already telling you to speed read, learn to speed read, watch my tutorial on how to do it, and then start working on your reading speed. And of course, your ability to read in your native language and your ability to read in your target language, in whatever language you're learning now, will not be the same. Uh, I read English as fast as I read my native languages, but because I've been reading English and working in English for over a decade now. But for any other language, of course, I can't read it as fast as English or my native Basque or my native Spanish. But you can get there like, slowly with practice. And this made me think maybe I should do more deliberate reading, just reading the same sentences over and over as fast as I can, uh, to just work on my ability to process information faster. This again, this is German, right? So my ability to read German is really good because I've worked in Germany. I've done basically I've been reading German 8 hours a day for a year when I was working in the embassy. So yeah, my ability to read in German is pretty good. But I'm not as fluent in German as I am in English. That's a fact. Maybe doing this could help. I don't know. Um, how to do this? I told you. I just selected this by the way. I told you in the speed reading video that you should. Maybe this one's better. Um, the basics of speed reading. You should just sorry, select a word. When you look at the middle of the sentence, you don't move your eyes uh, through the text, but you just look at the middle and you try to expand your vision and see like several words at a time without moving your eyes, and all of that you can go watch the other video and then practice on your own. But basically, you have to just look at the fixed spot in the middle of the sentence and just see the whole sentence, taking a kind of like a screenshot with your eyes and with your brain without moving your without just moving your eyes through the text. That's how speed reading works. Which is one of the things that you should learn. Um, but yeah, to learn grammar, learn vocab, all of this, I learn all the grammar, all the vocab here, but it would probably help if I did way more. Just take this list. There are, I don't know how many thousand sentences here for conversation and just read as fast as I can. Again, these are random sentences for conversation, 20 or 30,000 sentences with all the vocab and grammar. This is only for after you learn your language islands. I recommend you do all the speed reading or all the other exercises with your language islands first. But once you've learned those really well, then you can learn this pretty fast by speed reading as well. I haven't done it for German because when I created these sentences, um, I could already speak German, so I didn't think it was necessary. But I could probably get even better at German just by quickly reading the whole list. And it's not that like you can do this really fast. Again, if you can speed read and if you know the vocab. If you don't know the vocab, you have to go slowly. You have to memorize the vocab. Do a bunch of other exercises. This is for quickly reviewing what you've already learned, right? But this is the speed at which you can review. I'm gonna quickly review like 20 or 30 sentences. Okay, that was a little bit more than 20 or 30. But you can see that it's very fast. You can review thousands of sentences fast. I didn't say learn thousands of sentences. I know all the vocab here, but this is a very fast way to get a lot of, a very efficient way, time efficient way to get a lot of reviewing quickly. And this will make you more fluent, make your speech, to process information faster, easier to understand, easier to speak, right? The faster you can process the language. If you're a beginner in the language, you'll go like, this cafe is, okay, what's this? Heiß, hot, schreien, really. This is for reviewing after you've landed, right? But it's a great way to review the sentences you've already learned. And you could review the same lines. If you've got 1,000 lines that you want to use in conversation, you could review them 20 times in a week, like the whole list. And that will probably help you be relatively fluent super fast. If you can if you can review the whole list 20 times, just, and then you also listen to them and you repeat them aloud and all that, you'll probably be able to say most of them in conversation just with that. So, yeah, speed reading super important. You can learn without it, but you can learn way faster by doing it. You can review what you've already learned. This is not for learning new stuff. This is for not forgetting. Basically, you can read if you speed read. You can read way faster than you listen, or what a normal person reads like. So, yeah, great way to it's a great way to just a lot of reviewing and making sure that you don't forget the vocab, and also it's a great way to review not only sentences like this but also vocab lists. So I highly recommend you start practicing your reading speed.